Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we got the update patch notes for the Phoenix Force Enter the Phoenix tournament update. Hyperion, Wolverine, and Captain America. Those are the only sneak peeks that we got. So first off, I'm going to show you guys the key art. It looks really cool, but yeah, like I said, Hyperion, Captain America, Wolverine, that's all we got. That's all we're getting on top of the artifacts stuff. So this seems much more like a mid-month update, which would support the rumors and the sort of speculation that we have going on right now that the mid-month update is going to be much bigger. And we sort of saw this similar pattern with the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Captain America and Winter Soldier update, where that was a smaller update compared to the Ultimates, and that's why they delayed the live stream to the mid-month as they are doing this time around as well, because there was no update live stream, there was no Cage and Kim live stream for this information. So it could very well be that the next update in 2 weeks from now, not to look ahead already, but I'm just letting you guys know, it could be the Eternals. It could be part 1 of the Eternals kind of thing with an epic quest and like a lot of big time content. Not to say that there isn't substantial content here. There is substantial content here. It's just packaged a little bit differently. So let's get into it right away. We've got brand new uniforms, like I said, for Captain America, Wolverine, and Hyperion. They all keep the exact same typing, and they're still heroes, so nothing dramatically about their style or, you know, their function changes. As far as the abilities and effects go, I didn't really notice anything too spicy for Captain America, but with patch notes, you really have to wait and see until you actually get to play them in game, because although Captain America may not have very amazing changes to the skills, if he has changed animations, if he has improved, you know, targeting, AoE, iframes, like all that stuff is not listed here in the patch notes. But yeah, as far as the patch notes go, he doesn't seem to have too much brand new. I do believe that the HP recovery may be higher than it used to be, but honestly, I haven't memorized the old cap because it's been ages since I played with the old cap. So, and by the old cap, I mean the Hydra cap, which is the newest cap version. But yeah, he had a 10% heal, so they almost tripled his heal from 10% to 25%. I also noticed that the debuff removal is much better now on heroism, rather than being a 2-second debuff removal with a 20-second cooldown. It's a 6-second debuff removal with a 10-second cooldown. This is very, very strong. It basically means that he almost has the same debuff as a debuff leadership. That's very, very strong. If you check the stats on, for example, Molecule Man's leadership, it's 6 seconds with a 10-second cooldown. I know it's a 60% chance to be activated, so it's not a 100% chance, but it's still very strong in my opinion. And we'll have to wait and see just how much stronger that makes him for something like PvP, but hopefully he'll also be good for PvE. But again, hard to notice too many things on Captain America. It's a little bit easier to notice them on Wolverine because they've added some really spicy effects for Wolverine, I have to say. I don't want to get too excited because you guys know I love Wolverine, but he could be good this time around. It could be finally the time for Wolverine to shine. Basically what they gave him, the name of Captain America's first skill may be subject to change. I didn't see this before. Anywho, they gave him a sort of like a revive. When his HP drops below 30%, which is sort of like the critical zone, he gets a 100% recovery. Boop. He'll just pop right back up to 100%, and that activates every 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's not bad. That means you could technically trigger this twice during a 5-minute PvP battle, or during a 5-minute World Boss Ultimate or World Boss Legend battle. In addition to that heal, he's getting 15% chain hit, he's getting skill damage and bonus damage, and his HP recovery is getting bumped from 5% to 6%. That's pretty nice. Now, I don't know, but I think that his damage reduction has been lost, which may not be a good enough trade-off. Like, that may not be the trade-off that we're hoping that it is. He may have needed the healing plus the damage reduction. We'll have to wait and see. But he does seem to have some other nice buffs. Like, he has a 30-20 frenzy buff. He's got, you know, burn and bleed damage and things like that, you know, related to the Phoenix, but it also helps. He's got a counter-attack skill with ignore targeting, which is nice. Noticeable here, this is an often misused or overlooked buff. he decreases the debuff duration on himself by 90% for 5 seconds when you pop this skill. Now, for those of you that don't know what decreased debuff duration is, it basically, whenever you get debuffed, whenever you get hit with a skill that's going to stun you or paralyze you or burn you or bleed you or whatever, that skill has a duration: 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. For, you know, mind control, 10 seconds. He's going to decrease the duration of that effect by 90%. That's almost the same as having debuff immunity. It's not exactly the same. He'll still get interrupted here and there, but for 5 seconds, he's going to have a 90% reduction in the duration. So if something has a 1 second duration, it's basically almost going to disappear right away. And this decrease should stack with existing debuff duration, crowd control time, which is, you know, basically does the same thing. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how good he is for, again, PvP as well, but also PvE with some of his buffs and this kind of stuff. Apparently, they also changed his tier 3 skill, Enter the Wolverine. They added accumulation to it, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. No, it always had accumulation. Yeah, no, I mean, this doesn't look that much different. They added Ignore Immunity to his All Defense Down skill, so that is a little bit different, but otherwise it's the same. It's actually a lower percentage though. Instead of being 250% physical, it's 130 fire damage. So we'll have to wait and see. Wolverine does look a little bit interesting. And then Hyperion. Hyperion should be getting a brand new top to bottom rework because he's been bad and that uniform's like 3 years old. So what is Hyperion getting? Hyperion is getting a pretty nice uniform effect, 20% guaranteed crit and 25% fire damage. His leadership is being bumped from 45% all attack to 55, which now makes him the best lead in the game for, you know, high-end World Boss Legend content. He still lags a little bit behind Cyclops for energy attacking characters, but overall, right, the overall flexibility of Hyperion's leadership is much better than Cyclops's, because Cyclops only applies 35% all attack and 20% or 25% all defense. The extra 30% only gets stacked on to energy attackers. So yeah, very, very strong lead. He also has a much better passive now. When he gets hit with a 10-second cooldown, this is crazy, he has a 50% heal. So again, in PvE or PvP, if you can just survive for 10 seconds, he's going to be proccing a 50% heal every 10 seconds. That's crazy, really strong. It's also going to give him a little guard, and it's going to give him immunity to stun. So he's no longer going to be able to be stunned at all, because the stun effect cooldown matches the cooldown of the solar passive, the solar power passive. So stun is not the most popular debuff from world bosses, but it happens. It definitely happens. I know that does Null stun you? I think Null stuns you. Null definitely stuns you with those tentacles. So he'll be able to shrug off those tentacles infinitely, which is really, really nice. He's got a new tier 2 passive with better effects and more defense and skill damage bonus damage. He gets iframe ignore, he gets paralysis, he gets another heal for 20%. The biggest thing for me, in my opinion, about Hyperion is they fixed his cooldowns. That was one of the biggest things that Hyperion had, is really bad cooldowns on his skills. His 3 and his 5, I believe, had really, really awkward cooldowns. If we go ahead and look at the old Hyperion, I shudder to look, but he's got a 25-second cooldown on Atomic Vision. This is fine at 15, and he's got a 20-second cooldown on Heaven's Fist. So just really awkward stuff. Very hard to play competently, you know. But now they fixed it. So he got 6 seconds, 9 seconds, 14 seconds, 16, 15. So much, much better, much smoother. He keeps the accumulation on his 5th skill. It's unclear if the accumulation is damage he deals or damage he takes. I think it's still damage that he takes, but we'll have to wait and see. He still gets a frenzy buff here. So Hyperion's looking really nice. Wolverine's looking really nice. Cap is looking like we're going to need to do a little bit more digging on that. And then we have the new tier 3 skill for Hyperion. This is what it looks like. He raises up, he blasts you, then he flies down and smashes you, and then he leaves this giant atomic lava pool that continues ticking for damage. I personally really think I like it. I really think it's cool. Some people say it's copy and paste. I don't really care. Newsflash, we have like, you know, 70 tier 3 characters. There's gonna be copy and paste. If you were expecting 70 unique skills, stop playing video games, because there isn't a video game on this planet that has 70 unique skills among 70 different characters. Look at any fighting game and how often those games reuse animations and frames. Yeah, I just think some people are just too, it's just funny reading the comments, to be honest. The entitlement of some people, they expect the game to just be, you know, this infinite fountain of creativity, and free also, forever, free forever, for everyone, for all time. Anyways, Hyperion's tier 3 skill doesn't look like too much here, but again, we'll have to wait and see. It looks pretty straightforward. It's got a damage proc, it's got, you know, crit damage for whatever reason. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. The interesting thing about this mid-month update is there are no transcended characters, which again supports the idea that the mid-month update is going to be huge. Now, we get over to artifacts. I don't want to go too deep into what artifacts are here in this video. You can read through the patch notes. I know I'm supposed to explain the patch notes, and I will, but I just mean I'll make a dedicated video to artifacts when they come out and I can actually play with them, and so I can show you them. But what you need to know right now is you can farm artifacts pretty easily from different content that already exists in the game. There is a way to get artifacts by just whaling out, of course. There always will be, but it's not like it's the only way or whatever. Like, there's multiple ways of getting artifacts. Artifacts come in 1-star to 6-star varieties, so it's the same sort of thing like Obelisks and comic cards, and you equip an artifact on a character, just one artifact on each character. And then if you want to equip a new artifact, you either have to unequip the old artifact or you have to replace it and delete the original artifact. So it's, in some ways, it's very much like an obelisk or a CTP. You can see here that you have 3 different ways of buying artifacts. You can buy artifacts with artifact tokens, you can buy artifacts with crystals, or you can buy artifacts with celestial essence, which is a new resource that you can farm. But you can also just farm artifacts for free. There's going to be 1 free store purchase daily, just like the daily bios that you get for free. That's a 1 to 3-star artifact every single day. You can buy with gold, so you can buy up to the 1.25 million gold purchase. It's once per day. I don't know if you can purchase all 4 of them if you're at the highest shield level, but you can purchase artifacts. You can purchase not only 1 to 3-star artifacts, but you can purchase an artifact chest that can have a 3 to 4-star exclusive passive skill artifact. I'll explain what that means, but basically the artifacts get stronger as they get higher in star level, obviously, right? So a 1-star artifact is not going to be as strong as a 6-star artifact. It's pretty straightforward. Once the artifact hits 3 or 4 stars, it's going to include, in addition to the other effects that it has, or the other stats, I should say, it's going to have an exclusive passive skill effect. And why it says exclusive is because it's going to be exclusive to a character. So for example, they give us an example here. This artifact, it's a 4-star, it's purple, it's called Kumiho's Claw. So you're guessing it's probably for White Fox, yes. And it's got these basic effects, which you can equip on any character. It's going to increase their order by 80%, sorry, which is going to increase their how much instinct damage they do from the order, if their main instinct is order. And then it's also going to increase their instinct critical damage decrease. So it's confusing, but it's going to increase their instinct critical damage decrease. So it's basically going to make them tankier against instinct crit damage. So it increases your crit damage decrease, your instinct crit damage decrease by 4%, and then an additional 0.2% of your order up to 200%. This is sort of unnecessarily complicated, but basically it just makes the character tankier in PvP. That's all it is. And then it increases their order instinct, which is going to increase their instinct damage a little bit. It's not much. These increases, 80 is very small. You start off with like 800. So you're getting less than a 10% boost on the base of the stat. And then this 4%, again, up to 200, right? 4%, 200, you can see it's a huge gap. It's not going to be a crazy amount of, it's not going to stop the character from critting altogether, critting you. But anyways, this particular artifact, because it's 4 stars and it's got purple whatever, it's got an additional effect if you equip it on White Fox specifically. And this is what I think is really cool about the artifact. So you can see here, it's got an extra effect. Activation requirement White Fox. So you can only get this effect when you equip it onto White Fox, and it's going to give a 15% chance when White Fox is attacking. She's going to heal 13% of her HP, and then she's going to heal an additional 0.3% of her HP based on total instinct, up to 200%, with a 14-second cooldown. That's pretty cool. It's really cool to imagine if they balance these artifacts properly, and I know that's a big if with Marvel Future Fight, but if they balance these artifacts properly, you could be giving characters that otherwise have no way of healing a way to heal. And we highlighted this specifically with White Fox when I covered her tier 3 video. She cannot heal in PvE content, in World Boss Legend content, because she cannot charm the enemies. Even though she has a heal, it doesn't work. Just like Spider-Woman can't heal in the story mode ultimate All War because the charm skill doesn't deal elemental damage. So you could bypass that problem, and characters who really need the healing, like Ghost Rider. Imagine being able to equip a heal on your Ghost Rider. So this is not just a PvP thing, right? This is a PvE thing as well. So I know some people are going to panic and think this is going to make PvP a whale fest. Newsflash, PvP is already a whale fest. That's not what I'm really concerned about. What I'm really hyped about and excited about is being able to shore up, right? Being able to cover up the weaknesses of some of the best characters to make them even stronger, to make them easier to play, etc. Right? I'm really excited about that. So I cannot wait to see what is in store for these artifacts. But yeah, basically you're gonna have 2 random stats. You can see random substat. It says substance, but it's supposed to be substat. Random substats 1 and 2. And it's going to say it's going to amplify one of the 4 different instincts: justice, cruelty, order, destruction. So you can see there, it increases order, it increases justice, it increases order. So you're going to have a random roll there on the artifact. And then the second roll on the artifact is going to apply specific effects related to a particular type of instinct. And then the exclusive passive skill are going to apply a passive skill when equipped to the target hero. It's unclear how many different exclusive passives there are. They just showed us the healing one for now, but there could be tons. So this is pretty exciting in my opinion. Now back to how you can farm these, because I sort of went over some of the ways to get them for free or for gold, but I didn't go through all the other details. So you can also get them through playing story mode, and it doesn't say that there's a limit on these. So I'm guessing you can farm these a lot, because every time you clear a normal stage, you get a 1 to 2 star artifact chest every single time. And once you clear an ultimate stage, you get a 1 to 3 star artifact chest. So you could farm 20-30 artifacts a day if you wanted. So again, some people are gonna panic, right? But all the information I've gathered, these effects are not going to be as strong as a CTP, and they're much easier to obtain than CTPs. So I wouldn't panic too much, right? I really wouldn't panic at all, to be honest. But yeah, you can also get them from timeline survival when you do a boss stage clear. So when you beat one of the 3 bosses on a given stage, you're going to get a 1 to 3 star artifact. When you clear the entire map for timeline survival, you're going to get another 1 to 3 star artifact. You also have a daily artifact chest reward. So you're going to get this once per day, which can drop a 1 to 3 star artifact or a 3 star exclusive passive skill artifact. You can get up to 6 of those chests. You can see it says 1 to 6. I'm guessing it's going to be the number of chests based on the difficulty, because the difficulty of timeline survival goes all the way up to 6 now. So that's going to encourage you to try and do a harder incursion of timeline survival. And then in the timeline survival shop, using the survival tokens, you can purchase artifacts, and you can purchase chests that will drop artifacts. So there's lots of ways to farm artifacts just from story mode and timeline survival. You can also do the gold method. You can also just do the free method in the shop. And then you can also whale out. So if you want to whale out with crystals, you can buy 1 to 4 star artifact chests. So they are better than the 1 to 3 star artifact chests that you get for free, but they're not that much better. So again, the gap between spenders and non-spenders is not that big. And then you have a guaranteed here, you know, because people are spending money, so you want to give them a guarantee of 1 3-star exclusive passive skill artifact. And then you get artifact tokens. So the way that you get these artifact tokens, at least for now, is by gambling, and then you're able to use those artifact tokens to then guarantee yourself more. So these are sort of like a pity system. So they've built into this system a pity. So that's really good to see that they're doing that right off the bat, because they know we've already gotten used to the pity system in the CTP gambling and the comic card gambling with the premium tokens. So they're basically just rolling that all in there. And then we also have Celestial Essence. So you can use Celestial Essence to buy these chests, which can drop not only 1 to 3 star artifacts, but they can drop 3 to 6 star exclusive passive skill artifacts. That's huge. So the best items, the best artifacts actually drop from Celestial Essence. How do you get Celestial Essence, you ask? You crunch down your artifacts that you don't need. So you can basically, you should farm artifacts, obviously, but then if you get a lot of duplicate artifacts that you don't need, you basically just dismantle them It's going to cost you some gold. You dismantle them, you destroy them, like you destroy obelisks or, you know, whatever, and you're going to get essence. So this is a really good system because normally we just sell obelisks that we don't want, that are like low level, right? Like 1 to 2 star obelisks that we don't want. If we're not going to spend the gold crunching them up to 3 stars or 4 stars, we just sell them, right? Like I told you guys, sell your 1-star cards. You probably sell your 1 and 2 star ISO because it's just not worth it to build it up to 6 stars, right? It just takes too long. It costs too much gold. But in this situation, you are going to get something back for it. Now, you do have to spend some gold, but you do get back Celestial Essence. And if the screenshot is the same, this is very cheap, right? 45,000 gold to get 225 Celestial Essence is very cheap because 225 Celestial Essence is going to give you almost a full pull on this ×10 chest, which is 10 chances to get an artifact, or 10 artifacts, which gives you 10 chances to get one of these really high. That's basically what I'm going to be aiming for. So my advice to you, if you want to jump into this system right out of the gate, is don't equip any artifacts. Just farm up as many artifacts as you can, and then unless they are 4 stars, I would say this is what I'm going to probably do. Anything that's a 1 to 3 artifact, I'm just going to automatically destroy it and turn it into Celestial Essence. And I'm just going to pile up Celestial Essence like crazy. I'm going to pile up like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Celestial Essence. And then I'm going to do a big opening on the advanced artifact chest here with Celestial Essence, because this is all free. And then I'm going to see what my odds are to get a higher tiered exclusive passive skill artifact. Keep in mind that they may not be, just as an aside here, they may not be releasing all of the exclusive passive skill artifacts in this update. What that means is there may be exclusive passive artifacts for White Fox, for Luna Snow, for Spider-Man, for Captain America, but there may not be exclusive skill artifacts for every single character. That's my guess, right? I don't think that they're going to release it like that. What that means is they were probably going to be releasing them in waves. Now, they didn't list here how many characters it applies to just yet, so we don't know, but that's just my guess. If that's the case, then you're going to want to bank up lots of Celestial Essence and then wait for the update that comes and says, yo, we're dropping new exclusive skill artifact, exclusive passive skill artifacts for the Black Order. And now you've saved up 5,000 Celestial Essence, and now you go in after the update and you're going to try to get those ones in particular. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot going on here. I understand it's a lot of information to take in, but that's just my advice to you. The sort of summary of it is farm artifacts from story mode and timeline survival, and then unless they're 4-star survival, 4-star artifacts, just crunch them down, destroy them, convert them into Celestial Essence, and then just hoard your Celestial Essence. Okay, we'll go into more details when it comes out, but yeah, you can also use Celestial Essence to upgrade the artifacts, to, you know, upgrade their level, which upgrades the amount of instinct it gives you. I wouldn't really worry about this right now. It's probably not the best way of using Celestial Essence until we see how good those chests are. And so everything else is there. Next thing they're doing is they're introducing something called Boost Obelisks and Boost Comic Cards. Don't panic. It's not some new crazy whale material. It's basically just, rather than having these items, like if you're just going to upgrade these just to have extras, like if you're not trying to get a specific card, if you're just trying to upgrade them all to 6-star just to have fodder for crafting or re-rolling, then instead of wasting all the inventory space with individual cards, you can now just have one stack of that particular item. So for example, I'm again saving up mythic cards to re-roll, and as you can see here, I've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13, okay, whatever, 12 mythic cards, but each one of these mythic cards is taking up a spot in my inventory. What I could do instead is just convert them into what's called boost cards. And you can see there, boost comic cards, 47 of them are acquired at 3 stars. And then you could just, it's the same formula, it's 5 to 1 or 6 to 1. You convert those into 4-star boost comic cards and 5-star boost comic cards and 6-star boost comic cards. And then you can use the stack the same way that you use regular comic cards. You can use them for crafting, it's the exact same, or you can use them for re-rolling. It's exactly the same. The difference is it saves you all that inventory space. So you can do this, again, if you're just crunching up. So again, if you're just crunching up obelisks, if you're just upgrading obelisks to get them to mythic, just to have a bunch of mythic obelisks to reroll your CTPs, rather than doing that, you can just have one stack of 50 or 100 boost obelisks that are 6 stars. So this change is going to literally save people hundreds of inventory slots. You're gonna have to understand how to use the system, but it's gonna save you a ton of inventory slots. So why would you not use this system? Well, you would not. You would skip the system. You would ignore this system if you're looking for a specific obelisk. If you're trying to roll for a specific obelisk, like if you're really trying to get an obelisk that has, you know, crit damage and a proc, then you're not going to want to roll into a boost obelisk, because they're not the same, right? Because if you roll it as a boost obelisk, it doesn't have any stats. It's just a generic 6-star boost obelisk. It's basically the same thing as these boost ISO. It's the same thing, but for obelisks and comic cards. Okay, so if you're looking for a specific obelisk, or if you're looking for a specific card, like let's say you're trying to roll a mythic Loki 17 because you don't have 5 premium cards yet, and you really want to equip this one because you know that it can roll some good stats, then you're not going to want to mess with this boost system yet. But once you're at the stage where you're not rolling for specific obelisks or specific cards, and you just need more fodder, you just need any mythic cards, right? Then you want to use this system, and it's going to save you, like I said, hundreds of spots of inventory. So this is a really cool change. It's not going to cost you anything extra anyways. Like I believe it's still just going to cost you the regular amount of gold, but just keep in mind that these are not regular items that you equip, right? These are just items that are meant solely to boost your existing items. So it's just like these ones here. And then last but not least, I'm going to sort of rush through this because we're going along in the video. We have improvements to the timeline survival game mode in terms of the rewards and the energy and things like that. So you got the rewards here. You're going to get a hard stage celestial essence. So you're going to also be able to farm additional celestial essence, not just from crunching down and dismantling your artifacts, but also from playing the hard mode timeline survival. So I suggest that you do that. You're also going to be able to get more energy and more temporal energy and survival tokens. It seems like they removed the tier 2 and the tier 3 materials from timeline survival, but they replaced them with the artifacts and the celestial essence. So I'm not really mad about that. I have enough places to get those other materials, to be honest, and I do like that I can, focus farm artifacts here. You also are going to get, there's like revival of characters in timeline survival. It's fine. You're going to get, instead of 5 temporal energy to start, everyone's going to have 10. And instead of it taking an hour to recover 1 energy, it's going to take 15 minutes. So this is huge. They're doubling the amount of energy that you can bank off the start, and then they're cutting the time by 75%. So rather than it taking an hour to recover 1 energy, in 1 hour you're going to recover 4 energy. So it's way, way, way better. And then they've reduced the number of bad effects. So when you step on those icons on the map and it's a question mark, it's much more likely to give you a positive buff than a negative buff. Then we have the new future pass here. There's no premium character in the normal pass, but we do have a very spicy Venom icon that I'm considering buying for the mythic cost for the $50. And then we have the freaky Hyperion one, which is going to be from a token shop. And then we have the legendary pass, which is White Fox winking at you suggestively. Not suggestively, I'm just kidding. We have the new uniform collection. We have ISO, custom gear, comic cards, Uru, and artifact tab have been combined into one. So they basically just reorganized the inventory so that it's only going to have 4 slots. Rather than separating custom gear, ISO, cards, and artifacts, it's all going to be pushed into one, and it's going to also include Uru. So it's going to be a little bit trickier to navigate at first, but it's going to overall clean up the UI for the inventory system. And then the other big buff here is that they've improved the Phoenix Force tag. So this is pretty cool. So right now the Phoenix Force tag, if you go over to any Phoenix Force character, it gives them, let's see here, it gives them 5% energy attack and 3% fire damage. But as you guys can see, Wolverine and Captain America and Colossus and Namor, they don't deal energy attack, they deal physical attack. So they're changing it to become 5% fire damage and 5% all attack, I believe. No, yeah. So it's gonna be 5% all attack and 3% fire damage. But they're also changing the strikers. So this is pretty big for strikers. The strikers right now give you energy attack and fire damage, which is really good for a character that can double dip, like, let's say, Mephisto. So hang on a second here. Let me show you. So my team for Mephisto here on stage 39, because he deals fire damage, right? We use these strikers here. And these strikers here, you can see they give 10% energy attack and 5% fire damage. So this reflects, when I use 4 of them, I'm getting 40% energy attack and 20% fire damage, which is really, really good. It's going to get even better. It's going to be 10% increase to all attack, all basic attack, and 5% fire damage, which means you can use these exact same strikers, minus Magneto, of course. You can use these exact same strikers, these Phoenix Force strikers, for Captain America, Namor, Colossus, Wolverine. And it's going to give them, 40 to 50% increase all attack and fire damage, and 20 to 25% fire damage. So it's really, really good change for any Phoenix Force users that deal physical damage. Really, really nice stuff. And it basically just means that you can also use it for basically any. It doesn't have to be a Phoenix Force. I'm using Phoenix Force, but basically any elemental damage character. These are going to be some of the best strikers for them. Not necessarily the best, but some of the best. And even for elemental damage characters that deal physical damage, it's going to be really, really good for them. There's not a lot that I can pull out here, elemental, physical, but you sort of get what I'm saying. And so it's just a good change. It's just a solid change. Like Rogue, for example. They'd be good strikers for Rogue. Not that she doesn't deal fire damage, but I digress. You kind of get what I'm saying. If she dealt fire damage. Anywho, those are the patch notes. They've also improved the CTP steal effect, not steal, but STEEL. They've also improved Crescent here. We'll find out how improved she is. They made 2 improvements to her second skill and her tier 3 skill, but we'll have to see what those effects are because they don't list the CTP reforging steal effect here. So yeah, those are the patch notes, but this is just the mid-month update. This is basically the mid-month update at the beginning of the month. The big chunky update is going to be coming in 2 weeks or whatever, 3 weeks. I don't know, it'll probably be 2 weeks, but yeah, it's coming later on for possibly an Eternals Epic Quest. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tonight for a update live stream on Twitch. Take care.